This get property is also an important one. What is this get property? As per ServiceNow best practices, ServiceNow doesn't recommend us to use static sysids, static numbers in the scripting. ServiceNow doesn't recommend us to use static sysids, static numbers in the scripting. So then what we will do, if we have any static sysids, if you have any static numbers, you will have to create a system property. For messages, we will actually create messages. For static sysids, for static numbers, for static values, we will have to create a property. So where do you create a property? System properties, we all know, right? Sys underscore system properties table. Sys underscore properties is actually the table name. So here you go here. My underscore number 9642762296. Okay. So this is actually a static number, my phone number. So here I have to call this. I cannot directly keep this phone number in my scripting because this is static. As per ServiceNow best practices, we should not keep static sysids, static numbers, static values in the scripting. So what we will do in that case, we will create a property. We will call that property in the scripting. Is that clear? Okay. Now I have created a property, right? So this property I am going to call it here using okay. So here, right, gs dot get property. In this get property, I am actually calling the property name, my number. So what it will give? It will give the number. So likewise, while you are writing the scripts, if you have to use some static sysids or static numbers or static values, it is better to keep it in a system property, and it is better to call that property using gs.get property. It is giving my number, right? Okay. So I will tell you a scenario where we can use system property. Okay. I have to query able tutor record in the user table, and I have to get the first name, last name, full name of that particular able tutor using scripting. Then what I do? I will write a glide record here where gr is equal to new glide record gr dot add query sysid. So here you have to pass some static sysid, right? So here you will pass able tutor sysid, right? Let me just go to the user table. Okay. The static sysid I am keeping here. So what ServiceNow is telling, don't use static sysids in the scripting. Any scripting. It can be client side scripting or server side scripting. Don't use static sysids. That is not a best practice, is what ServiceNow is telling. So gr.query, gr.if gs.print. Why do we use gs.print?
To execute.
To show the output on the console. Not for execution purpose. Is that Muhammad?
Okay. Uday.
Is that Muhammad who answered?
Yes. To show the output.
Yeah. So
No,
I'm
instead
just,
of we can use the info, what will happen? It will not show the output.
you are not actually listening. Info will also show you the output here, but it will actually log an entry there in the system log. Okay. Even if you use info, it will actually show it in the console. It will show as output, but there will be an entry that will be created in the system log.
Okay, got it.
So here it is actually printing able tutor first name, last name, email address, which is fine. So as per the ServiceNow best practices, don't use this static sysids in the scripting. So in that case, what I will do is that I will actually take this sysid. I'll go to the system properties. I'll create a system property. Okay. So here able.sys_id. I'm keeping sysid here. I have created a system property here. I'm going to call the system property in the scripting. So here I'll remove this one. gs.get property, the property name here. Okay. So while running this script, right, here this will actually this gs.get property will actually call this property name. It will actually get the able tutor sysid. So it will query with the able tutor sysid and it will give the able tutor first name, last name, and email address. See here, even if I don't use the sysid here, I did kept that sysid in the properties. I called that property here or not. So that is actually ServiceNow best practice. ServiceNow doesn't recommend us to use hard-coded sysids. Hard-coded sysids are nothing but static sysids. Okay, and also it will not actually recommend us to use hard-coded numbers. Numbers means 50, 60, 70, something like that. Hard-coded numbers are nothing but static numbers. Values, some values. So if you are actually using some static values, it is better to keep it in property, call that property. So if you take a look at here, if I open any server-side script, so business rules. So we will check how many times these system properties are used. In all these scripts, the system properties are used. If you open this one here, See, this is the system properties that is called. If you take this property name here, you go to the system properties table. You can check the property name here. You would find the property name here. See, there is a property here or not. So you will be using system properties for that purpose. Okay, you guys are